Joining me now, I'm glad to say, the freedom fighters, Emeritus Financial Advisor Lenore Hawkins, Reason Magazine Associate Editor Peter Suderman, and Fox Business Senior Correspondent Dunstan Priel. Peter, first to you. Let me get quickly to the details of what these billionaires want in terms of higher taxes than Californians. They effectively want a new European-style value-added tax because they want, for the first time, to tax services in a state. That would be unprecedented. What do you make of that?
So, to some extent, there's at least a silver lining here. Nobody likes tax hikes. Nobody wants to see more taxes. But there is a silver lining, which is that they're cutting income tax rates for some folks, and they're shifting the taxation over to taxing services. And what you really want to do, if you're going to have taxes, it's better to tax purchasing rather than saving and earning. All that said, this is not a good idea. This is not the sort of thing that you want to see states doing. What states don't need to be doing is saying, okay, we need to balance the budget through bigger taxes, through more tax hikes.
Right, Peter, isn't that the issue? I mean, Lenore, we've been up and down and around the bend with this issue, Lenore. And isn't this the fact of the matter is that California has a very terrible budget deficit problem. It also has very high tax rates. It also has a different kind of democracy system in there, where it's sort of like they have, different reform measures pushed through by the electorate that are very difficult. It's very difficult to get things done in their capital. Is this the way to go, to push through a VAT-style tax on services in the state of California?
Oh, God, no. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. And by putting through this policy where you're going to be taxing a brand new thing, so now we're going to expand the scope of available taxes, and you're going to be taxing accounting services and legal services, well, those tend to be skewed more towards the higher income earners. Higher income earners, those taxes tend to be a lot more volatile, which is part of our problem in the first place, that our tax code is skewed towards higher income. A tax code that's skewed to the high income tends to be very volatile, which leads to deficits.
Right. All right. So here's the other issue, too, is that, all right, so the and by the way, there's a lot of corruption with the VAT-style system. I don't want to stick on that type of the system. But many of these billionaires also use their own money to fight the IRS, and their effective tax rate, right, is what, 18%?
Listen, part of the problem is that these billionaires and the politicians, they're in sort of the same boat, and they're completely out of touch with the average American. The average American doesn't want more taxes. And the problem, another fundamental issue, is that the politicians are sort of as polarized as the American populace. The American population says, I don't want to pay more taxes. They don't necessarily care if that guy over there pays more taxes. They don't want to pay more taxes. They want more services. They want that pothole fixed in front of their house. They want more medical services.
But that service would get taxed. But here's the issue, Dustin. With what the billionaires like Eric Schmidt and the others in California want, wouldn't this create an even bigger tax collector if you try to, and a more intrusive government if you want to tax services? I mean, you certainly see that in your...
Back to my point, these guys are out of touch. You've got billionaires, sort of these elite crowd, and I'm not going to question their motives. I believe their heart is in the right place. We all know California is far worse off than any state. Their economy is about to slide into the ocean. But the solutions they're providing aren't in touch with mainstream America. It's just as simple as that.
All right. That was terrific, freedom fighters. Thank you so much.